Welcome back to the channel there, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's time for Papa's comic books, coffee, and more. Okay, before we begin, don't forget about that QR code right there to take you to all my social media pages, whether it be YouTube, eBay, and Instagram. Alrighty? Let's see who we have today. Oh, dun 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 dun. It's Return of the Jedi, Star Wars, book number 4 in a 4-issue limited series. This book was 60 cents back in 1984. This is the last of the 4 books. Don't forget about that QR code. It'll take you to all my social media, eBay, Instagram, and YouTube. Now, as a reminder, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. This book will be available with the other 3 books. It'll be a 4 books series, all sold in one group. Also, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought. Let's get to it. The Final Duel. The Rebel fleet, the full strength of the Alliance, committed to the bold gamble, at its point leading the fighter squadrons, the Millennium Falcon, and its controls with an entire new crew, Lando Calrissian. And as Lando signals his ship's readiness, the voice of Admiral Akbar rings out from his new Calamari flagship over all links. All craft will begin to jump to hyperspace. On my mark, may the Force be with us. Next stop, the Death Star. But don't worry, my old buddy Han's already at work. He'll have the defense shield down as scheduled. Or this will be the shortest offensive of all time. The Ewok's name is Wicket. He is one who has first befriended Princess Leia. He has reunited his new allies with their main strike force and led them to the Imperial shield generator bunker. Hey! And is now about to draw off the guards at its entrance. 3 of the 4 scouts take off after the stolen speeder bike. As for the 4th, not bad for a little ball of fuzz. Just wish he'd checked with us first. Guess he knows enough to grab the nearest vine and leave the Imperials chasing an empty bike. But concern for Wicket has to come second to moving inside quickly and quietly. We're running out of time, Han. The fleet will be out of hyperspace soon. No problem, Your Royal Highness. So far, this is easier than falling off a bantha. And with a burst of concentrated fire, sealed doors fly apart, bringing the goal in sight. Freeze inside, everybody. Let's get those charges planted. But if all goes well for the rebel cause of Andor, events are proceeding far differently aboard the new Death Star. Welcome, young Skywalker. I have been expecting you. I look forward to completing your training. Somewhere within the great battle station, a guarded finger gestures. And the binders of Luke Skywalker's wrists clatter to the floor, allowing him to stand free before the one being in the galaxy he would most like to see destroyed. Luke remains still. If you believe the time will come when I call you master, you're gravely mistaken. You will not convert me as you did my father. You will find, my young Jedi, it is you who are mistaken about a great many things. Ah, your lightsaber, a Jedi's weapon, much like your father's. By now you must know he can never be turned from the dark side, so it'll be with you. Never soon I will die, and I will die, and you with me. You refer to the imminent attack of the rebel fleet. I assure you, we are quite safe here. Your overconfidence is your weakness. Your faith in your friends is yours. Everything proceeds according to my design. Your friends are on Andor. Your rebel fleet all move into a trap. I who allowed the Alliance to know about this station and the shield generator. From here, you will witness the final end of your insignificant rebellion. Does that make your hate swell? Take your Jedi weapon. Use it. I'm unarmed. No, never. Give it to your rage. It is unavoidable. With each passing moment, you make yourself more my servant. Give in. It's your destiny. You, like your father, are now mine. Some distance from the Death Star, the rebel fleet roars out of the hyperspace, and its head in the Millennium Falcon, Lando Calrissian, immediately senses something is wrong. No reading on the shield because we're being jammed. How could they have jamming us if they didn't know we were coming? Break off the attack. Follow my lead. That shield's still up. But as the fleet responds to Lando's move, Admiral Akbar, enemy ships moving out from behind the sanctuary moon, cutting us off, sending in fighters. A trap! Launch all interceptions will be double power on the main battery. Only their fighters are attacking. What are the Star Destroyers waiting for? Comes from the Death Star, comes in form of crackling power, beam that slices through the rebel fleet, turning a massive battle cruiser into vapor. Our intelligence was wrong. That station is fully operational. All craft prepare to retreat. Admiral, we can't give up and run. We won't get a second chance. Han will have the shield down. We just got to give him more time. The reversal has come with stunning swiftness. One moment, Han, Leia, and their party were readying charges. The next, lookout was gone, and the shield control bunker and flooded with Imperial troops, part of a legion placed on Endor by the Emperor. Step lively, rebel scum. You saw the screens inside. The rebellion is over for your fleet, as well as you. The words ring distressingly true to the band of captives in Endor, even as on the Death Star. Similar words chill Luke Skywalker. There is no escape. Should a miracle occur and the generator still be destroyed, I've given orders for the station to be turned on an Endor moon and destroy it. The Alliance will die, as will your friends. The laser sword begins to shake where it rests by the Emperor's hands. Luke can resist no longer. The saber leaps through the air in his black-gloved hand. Yes, ignite it. Strike with all your hatred. Make your journey to the dark side complete. Beyond thought, the young Jedi acts, only to find another light blade building the death stroke, and the Emperor's pleased laughter echoes through the throne room like Luke begins the duel he hoped never to fight. But if the son holds any reluctance at the clash, the father seemingly does not. Darth Vader presses forward. Strong, skillful, sure, exhibiting more deadly invincibility than ever. Meanwhile, as the Endor captives are herded together under the guns of an Imperial scout walker. Hello over here. Did you forget about us? But the stormtroopers who charge into the brush after the two audacious droids instead find Ewoks. They drop from the everywhere, drowning Imperials, stealing weapons. Look, grab a blister. Head for the bunker. The charges are still in there. We might make it yet. Beyond Endor, in the depths of space, Lando and Admiral Akbar make the same tactic work on a larger scale. At point-blank range, we won't last long against these Star Destroyer Calrissian. Well, we'll last longer than against the Death Star, sir. And now it can't fire at us without hitting its own ship. On the Death Star, father and son grimly clash, brutally aggressively. Darth Vader brings his full strength and power against the younger man. But unlike the first time they dueled in the carbon-freezing chamber of Despin's Cloud City, this is a battle of equals. The young Jedi has grown in the interim. And if there is any true advantage, it seems to have shifted to him. That's it. Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Attack, attack. Let the hate flow through you. But the Emperor's words awaken Luke to something terrible rising within him. He stops and lowers his lightsaber. I will not fight you, father. Here, take my weapon. The Dark Lord, rising from where he stumbled, catches the sword as it rolls to him, attaching to his belt. Don't underestimate the power of the dark side, Luke. It is the only way you can save your friends. Yes, your thoughts betray you. Your feelings for them are strong, especially for... No! Leia, yes, I sense it. Feel it. A sister, a twin. Obi-Wan was wise to hide her, but your feelings have now betrayed her, too. His failure is complete. If you will not turn to the dark side, perhaps she will. The discarded weapon flies back to its young owner. Never! And the duel between father and son rages again, more violently than ever, with Luke as its driving force, seized by the frenzy that seems to consume him. Meanwhile, war has come to the sanctuary moon of Endor, and though the waging of war is what the Empire does best, this fighting is not what Imperial troops are prepared for. Their foes are small, quick, and elusive. They hit and run with crude, unorthodox weapons and tactics which shouldn't work, but within the crammed forest terrain proved remarkably effective, aided by rebel commandos and one particularly fearsome Wookiee. The Ewoks seem to be holding their own, but at the shield generator bunker where the droids join Han and Leia. Defeat. Deet. What, Deet? Oh no, Captain Solo. R2's hit. By the time the little guy recovers, it'll be too late for him to override the locking mechanism. Give me a hand, Leia. Maybe I can hotwire this thing. Leia, did you hear me? I said. There's an ugly burst of laser fire. The princess does most of the shooting, but not all. Leia, you know I love you, don't... Thanks for caring, General, but it's only my arm, and I'm afraid... I'm afraid of what? I'm afraid we have bigger problems. The scout walker looms out of the smoke of combat guns trained directly at the bunker doorway and those in it. While in space, Lando Calrissian battles to keep his fighters within striking distance of the Death Star. This is Admiral Akbar. General, the jamming has stopped. We have reading on the shield. It's still up. I fear Princess Leia's unit didn't make it. Until they've destroyed our last ship, there's still hope. Within the converted control chamber aboard the Death Star, serving as the Emperor's throne room, the two combatants fight as never before. Darth Vader's defense is powerful and relentless, but it is only a defense. Step by step, Luke drives the Dark Lord onto the walkway over the battle station's main elevator shaft. Each stroke of his sword forcing his father further toward defeat, until he hits him on the arm. Vader's lightsaber sails into the nearly bottomless shaft, and sparks fly from the mechanized stump that once held his right hand. The Emperor's laughter fills the great chamber. Good, kill him! Your hate has made you more powerful. Now fulfill your destiny and take your father's place at my side. Luke's light blade dances at the throat of the figure fallen before him. He stares at the great body, more mechanical than flesh, that considers his own black-gloved hand and fears for what he's becoming. Never, never will I turn to the dark side. You failed, Your Highness, and I am Jedi as my father was before me. Young fool, only now at the end do you understand your feeble skills are no match for the power and the power of the dark side. Now you pay the price for your lack of vision. For a moment, he is successful. Then there is only pain in the lashing power that makes him shrivel. And when it seems he can endure no more, its might increases. Even in his surprise, Luke tries to use the Force to deflect the blinding bolts of energy. The evil lightning then suddenly bombards him. So be it, Jedi. If you will not be turned, you will be destroyed. Now, young Skywalker, you die. And the final horror for Luke is the sight of his father crawling back to the Emperor like a dying animal returning to its feet of its master. Dun, dun, dun. Until suddenly, with a final surge of strength, he stands, not to serve the being who has turned him from Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader, but to seize him. The merciless energy that had been killing Luke now arcs back to strike Vader. It rains over him, searing, scorching in great form, yet still he staggers with his burden. To the edge of the abyss, Hurled by the giant, the Emperor spins helplessly by downward into the void, bouncing, careening off the shaft's iron walls, to explode in the dark oblivion somewhere below, sending demonic winds howling up out of the pit, winds that almost suck the huge warrior in after its former master, until the hand of his son hauls him back and both collapse, too spent, too weak to move. Father, safe behind blast-sealed doors within the Andor bunker, the Imperial control team awaits the results of the battle outside. Then, one monitor screen, a scout walker appears. It's over, Commander. The rebels have been routed and are fleeing into the forest. We need reinforcements to continue pursuit. Open all doors. Send 3 squads to help. But as the troops rush forth, they find battle conditions are not quite described as an understandable error, since their commanders talked to a man named Solo? Using the comm link of a scout walker captured by 2 tiny Ewoks and 1 giant Wookiee. No time for gloating, buddy. Let's get in there and blow that thing. After Imperial prisoners, Allied captors, hastily withdraw to the new rebel general and his longtime partner, bring their mission to a fiery conclusion, and the results of their accomplishment are swiftly realized by the rebel fleet. Calrissian, they did it! The Death Star's defense shield is down! I'm already taking my groups in, Admiral. Keep the big ships off our backs. We're going for the main reactor. A host of Imperial fighters rise to stop them. Oh no, oh no. And the uncompleted side of the battle station of Death Maze to be threaded, yet in the end, 2 of the rebel craft make it, and the main reactor chamber looms just ahead. Target's too big, Lando. My proton torpedoes won't even dent that. Go for the power regulator on the North Tower, Wedge. It'll take the main reactor while we're carrying concussion missiles. They should penetrate and start the chain reaction. Hustle. Once I let them go, we won't have much time. Who survived the first Death Star don't want to lose you here now. The Falcon swoops dangerously closer to its massive target. The former gambler at her controls takes no chances. Excuse me. Then direct hit. Now for the hard part, getting out of the space. For now, there is not only the superstructure maze to weave through this, there is explosive, ever-hunting chain reaction to outrun. And the effects of the chain reaction are already being felt throughout the Death Star, including its docking bay, where 2 figures in black painfully move. Go, my son, leave me. No, you're coming with me, Father. I've got to save you. You already have, Luke. Now, help me take this mask off. Just once, let me face you without it. You'll die. Nothing can stop that now. Let me look on you with my own eyes. Slowly, hesitantly, Luke obeys and looks down on the face which, though Livio with scars and regained his humanity, monstrous evil has faded, but the cost is high. It's too late, Luke. It's too late. And Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, Luke's father, dies. Numbly, the last Jedi turns, disappearing into the fire and smoke between him and the Imperial shuttle looming beyond. Moments later, the Death Star erupts. Most of the Imperial fleet, indeed the Empire itself, perishes with it. Destruction is total, except perhaps for a few tiny vessels, fortunate enough to soar from the dreadnought before it dove into oblivion. Night on Endor. A huge bonfire burns in the Ewok village, the centerpiece of a wild celebration as rebels and their allies rejoice in its wrath, in its warmth. Music and laughter swell. Past antagonisms and misunderstandings are forgotten. Old friends are reunited as one by one the warriors return. Even the most feared forever lost. And if later, while the revelry around the campfire swells, one among them stands apart, haunted perhaps by knowledge few others can ever share. He is still not alone. There is someone waiting to take his arm to draw him to her and the others, back into the circle of warmth and love. All right, the pinup section. Admiral Akbar on the bridge of his Mon Calamari battle cruiser. Get it? Calamari with him? Ewok warrior. Da-da-da-da. And a rebel B-wing fighter. That's a B-wing. Oh, I don't know where they get the B from. James Bond, 007. Luke Skywalker, The Last Jedi. Return of the Jedi. Star Wars. All righty. Well, that was Return of the Jedi. Number 4, the last one of a 4-part series. That book was 60 cents back in 1984. I hope you enjoyed that book. Don't forget now, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Book. This book will be for sale along with the first 3 as a one whole series. Also, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought. And as Papa and Luke and Han and Admiral Akbar always say,
that was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.